The fourth interesting fact is that Paul was not afraid to use words and phrases that were deliberately shocking to his audiences to get his point across. Oftentimes in his letters, Paul got worked up about things like circumcision or people trying to lead his congregation astray. And on one such occasion, he starts by mentioning all of the merits that he had as a zealous Jew and Pharisee, his heritage, his works, his blamelessness before the law. And then he goes on to say that he counts everything that he had gained as loss and says that those merits that he had are now dung. Yeah, the word he used here was poop. He counts his previous merits as poop, that he may have no righteousness before God from the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ. Finally, probably the most shocking thing that Paul ever said in his letters. I said before that Paul used a Roman format in most of his letters. Galatians is the exception. Because Paul was so mad when he wrote Galatians that he didn't include a Thanksgiving, because I guess he wasn't feeling very thankful when he wrote that. The reason for this is because many of the Galatian Christians were abandoning the gospel and falling into heretical doctrines. A part of the reason for this heresy was people practicing circumcision. Now, if you didn't know, the last thing Paul wants any Christian to do is undergo ritual circumcision. He was not a fan of that. And so in Galatians 5:12 he says, "I wish that those who are disturbing you would castrate themselves." Yeah, that's something that Paul said. He was like, if they're going to teach circumcision, they might as well just cut it all off. Now, I don't know that Paul actually wished that these guys would do that, but like I said earlier, Paul was not afraid to use strong language to get his point across. And he felt that if people got circumcised, then Christ was of no use to them. And as Christ metaphorically said, if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it is more profitable for you that one of your members should perish than for your whole body to be cast into Gehenna. Paul similarly wished to demonstrate the seriousness of refraining from following the law as a means of justification. So, he said, I hope they castrate themselves.